All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for our second online live stream concert of the Elderly Living Room Sessions. I'm AJ with Elderly Instruments, and we are here with award-winning banjoist, fiddler, and singer Jake Blount. Jake is based in Providence, Rhode Island, and is an internationally touring artist. His duo, Tui, performed in our showroom last summer, and Jake just released his first solo album on May 29th, Spider Tales, which debuted at #2 on the Billboard Bluegrass Chart and received widespread critical praise. Our concert tonight is free, but donations are strongly encouraged. We hope to see the artists make far and beyond what they could at an in-store concert at Elderly, and it's your participation that will make that happen and encourage artists and us to do more of these special events. The recommended donation is $10, but any amount can be donated. 100% of the proceeds will go to the artist. So if you appreciate the music, please show it in a donation. Head over to elderly.com/Jake and you'll find the links to donate. Sharing and commenting on this video helps the broadcast tremendously, so please take a second to do so if you're so inclined. You can also support the artist by checking out jakeblount.com, that's BLOUNT, and following him on social media. And without any further ado, the music of Jake Blount.
Where you gone, you roused about? Where you go fishing? When you come tie a hook and line. When you go courting, go with the willing mind. Oh, it's been years since I've been gone. Pretty little boy with a red dress on. Where you gone, you roused about? Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks so much to Elderly for having me. My name is Jake Blount. As AJ has already told you, I'm going to be playing a variety of different songs tonight, largely from my latest release, Spider Tales, which came out May 29th on Free Dirt Records and Service Company. That first song, Roustabout, is one of the tracks on that album, and so is this next one. It's called Where Did You Sleep Last Night? lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines, where the sun don't ever shine, I would shiver the whole night through. My boy, where will you go? I'm going where the cold wind blows. And the pines, where the sun don't ever shine, I would shiver the whole night through. His husband was a hard-working man, about a mile and a half from here. They found his head in a driver's wheel, about a mile and a half from town. My boy, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines, where the sun don't ever shine, I would shiver the whole night through. Oh, I've been told to increase my volume. Thank you so much for the feedback. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Well, that last one came from a man named Hughie Ledbetter, better known as Leadbelly, who cut his musical teeth in Shreveport, Louisiana, and spent a good deal of his life going on and off the chain gang. He had some really great music, despite being a less than optimal person in some respects. And I have to admit, I first heard that one from Kurt Cobain back in the day. Sorry about the tuning. For those who are not familiar with the brand of music that I play, old time, we tend to use different tunings for different keys, sometimes even just different songs, and that one is quite a strange tuning. So I'm going to give my fiddle a little bit of time to settle here. Think about what I'm going to do next. When my blood runs chilling cold, I've got to go, I've got to go, I've got to go. When my blood runs chilling cold, I've got to go, way beyond the moon. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, remember me. You can't bear no crosses, you can't wear no crown. You can't bear no crosses, you can't wear no crown. You can't bear no crosses, you can't wear no crown. Way beyond the moon. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, remember me. The harder your crosses, the brighter your crown. The harder your crosses, the brighter your crown. The harder your crosses, the brighter your crown. Way beyond the moon. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, remember me. Got a mother in the Beulah land, she's calling to me. Got a mother in the Beulah land, she's calling to me. Got a mother in the Beulah land, she's calling to me. Way beyond the moon. Do Lord, do That's a song called Do Remember Me that I learned from a collection of old folk songs from Alan and John Lomax called American Folk Songs and Ballads. And I kind of learned the song and worked it up, and I went down and visited my grandparents in Southern Virginia where they lived not long ago. And they all want me to play for them. So I pulled out my banjo and I started playing some, and they both started singing along to that song. Which I now gather is a relatively common song. My grandfather said that's one of the old songs, is Do Remember Me. So now I always try to play it if I can. AJ, let me know if the volume is any better. I have a little bit higher to go, but as I'm sure many of you know who are out here trying to stream for a living, there is a very fine line between the right amount of volume and clipping, distorting microphone kind of volume. So I'm playing it safe, but I'm sorry if you're having to crank it on your device back at home. Been told to aim for a little bit higher. That's what they always tell me. Aim higher. And I still wound up a banjo player. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Cool. Sounds like the volume's in order. If y'all have any other issues, feel free to let us know. We will do our best to address them as they come up. And if you have any questions for me, we're going to have a little bit of an intermission here. And while you are watching the pre-taped interview I did with Lillian Werbin, I will go look through the comments and try to address those in the second set. For now, I'm going to play one from a Cherokee fiddler by the name of Manco Sneed, who's part of a fiddling family from Cherokee, North Carolina. And his brothers were Manco, Osco, Pico, and Campbell. Poor Campbell. And this is Manco's Indian War Dance piece, assuming I remember it. If you want to please your captain, sink 'em low, boys, raise 'em high. Sink 'em low, boys, sink 'em low. Sink 'em low, boys, raise 'em high. I asked the judge what may be my fine. He said, if I don't hang you, I'll give you 99. I'll give you 99, boy. I'll give you 99. He said, if I don't hang you, I'll give you 99. If I can just make it through January and February, I'll march on through, boys, I'll march on through. I asked the captain what time of day, boy. He said it makes no difference, I don't owe you none. I don't owe you none, boy. I don't owe you none. He said it makes no difference, I don't owe you none. Thought I heard old Big Leg Lula, she's calling me, boy, she calling me. Said come back home, boy, said come back home. Heard Big Leg Lula, she's calling me. If I can just make it through January and February, I'll march on through, boys, I'll march on through. And I asked the captain what time of day, boy. He was so hard-hearted, he just walked away. The song was called Sink 'Em Low from Bessie Jones. Well, I'm going to play one more for you, and then I think we'll take a little intermission. This next one is also on my debut album, Spider Tales, which you can get in all of the usual places: Spotify, Tidal, iTunes, Bandcamp, whatever you want. This one is called Rocky Road to Dublin, and it comes from a Cherokee banjo fiddle duo, O.C. and Ernest Helton. Well, thank you. Got a quick intermission now.
All right, folks, head over to elderly.com/Jake and you can tip the artist. And we're going to take a 12-minute intermission and play a pre-recorded interview with Lily and Jake. So we'll be back for a second set of music in 12 minutes.
Thank you, Jake, for joining us for our second ever Elderly Instruments Living Room sessions.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So I want to kind of start at the beginning. I feel like some people have recently gotten to know your music and your sound and what you stand for. And I want to take it back to the early days and what really got you where you are today. So tell me about the electric guitar.
Well, once upon a time, I was in a rock cover band called ADHD, because of course, because we were in middle school. And yeah, we were like decent for a middle school rock band. We played in Battle of the Bands down in
Nice.
DC a fair bit. Had a good time. But yeah, I kind of got bored with it by like halfway through high school. I was just like, I don't really care about music anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. Um, and then my friend Rob sent me this one song called Barton Hollow by the Civil Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And I proceeded to go like buy their album and learn every single thing on the album and like bought an acoustic guitar. And I was just sold. And ran into this band a few months later called Megan Jean and the KFB, one of whom is now my vocal coach. And they that was the first time I'd ever seen a banjo played in person, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he was playing clawhammer. And I went up after the show, and they were kind of the first independent musicians I'd ever met, like people who were doing it for a living, but weren't, signing shirts at the VIP table or whatever. They were like just hanging out after their show in the bar.
Gotcha.
Or in this case, the Ethiopian restaurant. It was a strange pairing of band and venue. And
Strange, perfect.
exactly. So they told me all about, the life they were living as musicians. And Byrne, the banjo player, told me about the banjo coming from Africa and about the connection to our ancestors, which then made me want to learn more about it. So I delved more deeply into it over the next couple of years and wound up sort of gradually making the shift toward old time music, the more traditional stuff.
Yeah. So, in your recent album, Spider Tales, uh, in for me was a spiritual album, and kind of connected those Black roots to today for me. How does playing those songs compare to playing in your middle school band and not really caring about music? And it's interesting to hear you say that because I've never known you to not care about music. So, like that's a big difference. I'd like to know kind of how it feels to be singing, the songs you sing today, playing the music you're playing and educating the people in the way you do.
Yeah. I think compared to what I was doing back then, I don't think there was a focus for the music I was making when I was, in rock bands and playing, funk covers and whatever else it was. It was fun sometimes. There was good music made periodically, but like it didn't ever feel like it mattered
Mm,
to anything. And I feel like with those genres of music and those things that are really like focused on your individual creative capacity, it almost feels that way up until you start like you hit a big enough level where a lot of other people are invested in what you specifically are doing, right?
fair. Yeah.
And I think now, because this music that I'm making is part of something that's bigger than me, whether anyone listens to it or not, it feels important just when I'm playing it by myself, because I'm part of a bigger picture and
Hmm.
something that's happening there. And I don't think that was the case before. So it's a big difference in terms of how I think about my work and um, the context that I feel I belong in while I'm making it.
Tell me more.
Well, I think, one of our mutual friends, Jillian McCommon, said it really well when I spoke to her not long ago. She basically, and a bunch of the other people I spoke to for this research I was doing at the time, they spoke about feeling that there was this resonance that because they were doing something now that Black people had been doing hundreds of years ago, they were part of this chain of something that was tenacious and was durable in the way that we had to be.
Hmm.
Um, and that inherently there's something powerful about being part of that continuum, that you become part of the story of the people of the diaspora as opposed to just writing your own songs, which can be super gratifying. I'm not saying, that's also part of the tradition. um, but I think it's a little bit different to me to be working in something that is that old.
Right.
And I think even should I start writing my own music in the future, I would hope that I would carry whatever I've done here into that.
Fair. Well, and I've heard you play things in a mixture of styles. Can you talk about how you're blending some of those lessons along the way into recreating old music?
I think crucial to me is always the idea that none of these genres originally existed in their own little separate boxes the way we think of them existing now. And part of what I see as reclaiming the Black traditions of acoustic music in this country is also eliminating the genre categories that were imposed on those traditions, right? Blues and country and old time all originally existed in the same body of music and fed into one another, right? The difference between blues and gospel was not really musical, it was content. One was about your girlfriend and the other one's about God, as my professor Doc Woods always used to say. And I think what I was able to do on Spider Tales in a way that felt exciting to me was to take bluegrass and blues, early jazz, old time spirituals, throw them all into one pot and have it come out sounding cohesive, right? I was able to put all these things in one place and it didn't sound disjointed, at least in my opinion, and according to the reviews I have read. So that to me was my big takeaway, that in choosing to voice the styles as I did, I was able to reclaim something that was maybe larger in scope than just the Black old time tradition or just like the Black history of bluegrass. That all of these things can be put back together the way they used to be intended to live. That's what they were meant to exist as. And I think putting the pieces back together and letting the traditions speak to one another again is going to be the focus of my work for some time.
So before we get back to your second set and before we finish out the music for the night, tell me what it feels like to go from finding your place, finding a focus, and then watching it blow up to an actual visible space.
Yeah. I think it happened really suddenly. And I think it's not helped by the pandemic feeling, right? That like I had this whole release tour planned. Like I was going to like hit the road with a full backing band for the first time. Like there were all these plans laid. And then like nothing happened and the album just came out and got some good coverage, thank goodness. And now it's just done. And of course I'm excited to like get back on the road and tour it, but it feels like it happened just totally in a vacuum, which is really funny. It's like if you got a promotion and you hadn't been at work in 6 months, like like what just happened? It's like I'm not complaining, but I also don't understand. And it's interesting. I think I have the tendency that I know a lot of my other musician friends do to finish one thing and immediately be thinking about the next one. And I'm definitely like mentally immersed in the next project at this point, which is funny. It's happening so much faster because there's nothing else to occupy me in the meantime. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And definitely in the next thing I'm working on, which I should speak in great detail about, but which you've heard a little bit of, I'm like pushing the envelope in a much stronger way. In that I think Spider Tales was really about like reuniting these very old sounds from the Black community into something that was recognizable to all of those pieces of the tradition. And this next one is much less strict as far as timeline. So I feel like I'm now able to plumb additional depth and to learn more things and incorporate more sounds and more textures. And I think everybody has the internal battle of like, do I have enough confidence in this work? Like, will this succeed? And I think I'm constantly thinking like, am I pushing too hard right now? Like, is it too soon for this project to happen?
I don't think so.
Thank you. It's it feels like, I'm standing at the highest point I have so far, and I'm just, will be interested to see where it goes from here.
I certainly am. And I'm not only excited for the music you're going to create for the rest of the evening, but for years to come. And I appreciate you being so open and candid with me for everyone to watch. But thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we will talk again soon.
Yes, thanks for having me.
All right, we're back for a second set of music from Jake Blount. If you haven't yet, head over to elderly.com/Jake and tip the artist. A suggested donation of $10, but anything is accepted. So without any further ado, Jake Blount.
Thanks for sticking around. Oh, cuckoo, fine bird, she warbles as she flies. She never heard a cuckoo till the 4th day of July. I've gambled in England, I've gambled in Spain. I bet you $5 I'll beat you next game. Young Willie, he's my darling. Young Willie, he's my man. Young Willie, he's my darling. Young Willie, he's my man. Gonna build me a log cabin on a mountain so high, so I can see Willie as he goes passing by. Some of these days I lay down in your straw all night long, freeze to death alone. Mom and Papa told me, go on boy, county farm, be your home, oh Lord. It was called Brown Skin Baby from Jake Dillon. The one before that was called The Cuckoo. I'm sure some of you recognized it. It's quite a common tune. That particular version comes from Rufus Casey. And all of the tunes that I'm playing tonight come in some degree from a Black or Native American fiddler or banjo player so far. I think there will be only one exception to that. Gonna do a little bit of tuning here. is a tune called Beyond This Wall, composed by a dear friend and teacher of mine, Judy Hyman from Ithaca, New York. It is also one of the songs on Spider Tales, along with Brown Skin Baby, which I played just before. And along with this next one, The Angels Done Bowed Down. 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 Whoa, yes, my Lord. When Jesus was hanging up on the cross, the angels kept silent till God went off. Then the angels hung their harps on the willow trees to give satisfaction till God was pleased. The angels done bowed down. The angels done bowed down. The angels done bowed down. Whoa, yes, my Lord. His soul went up on a pillar of cloud, and when he moved, Lord, the heavens did bow. Jehovah's sword was at his side. On the empty air he be gone to ride. The angels done bowed down. The angels done bowed down. The angels done bowed down. Whoa, yes, my Lord. Go down, angels, to the flood. Blow out the sun, turn the moon into blood. Come back, angels, bolt the door. The time that's been will be no more. The angels done bowed down. The angels done bowed down. The angels done bowed down. Whoa, yes, my Lord. That is a very old song that I got out of a collection from John Wesley Work III, who is a black collector of black folk songs and spirituals, which is something of a rarity. And he was affiliated variously with Fisk University and Columbia during his life. I believe the book that I got that out of was the published version of his Columbia master's thesis in folklore. And that song I found in there and realized it had never been recorded before, at least in a version that incorporated the original melody and the original rhythm. The lyrics were taken and used differently in an operatic setting, but that song had never been performed with its original sound before. I definitely took liberties with it when I recorded it for Spider Tales, but it was a fun thing to do. A lot of what I've been trying to do with my work is to bring out these narratives of kind of a thirst for justice or a desperation for freedom that I see threaded through the canon of black traditional music in this country. And The Angels Done Bowed Down just was a clear example of that to me, that there is obvious subtext here, and that these were, at the time, enslaved people who are begging God to mete out judgment against their oppressors, and to burn the whole earth if necessary, which is a striking image and a striking testament to the intensity of feeling and the ideology that was native to slave communities at the time, enslaved communities, I should say. Many of these things were not written down. Many of these things were not spoken outright because people would have been killed if they were. And that's less true today, though still not completely untrue. And a lot of the times we wind up reading between the lines in older texts that come down to us, whether that be oral histories or songs. And most of what we have from those days are songs. And that's one of my favorites, and kind of encapsulates the things I'm trying to do here. I've been working a lot in those old spirituals lately. I've got a little new thing cooking that I'm not ready to tell everyone about just yet. But it's been a fun process getting to focus more on vocals, vocal arrangements, all that fun stuff. And really dig into some music that I haven't felt like I've had a window into performing or recording before. I wonder where is my brother gone? I wonder where is my brother John? He's gone to the wilderness, ain't coming no more. I wonder where will I lie down? I wonder where will I lie down? In some lonesome dark place, Lord, down under the ground. where is my brother John? He's gone to the wilderness, ain't coming no more. I wonder where will I lie down in some lonesome dark place, Lord, down under the ground. Oh, sort of a triple medley situation. The first little tune with the it's called Laughin' Boy, and I learned it from a fiddler named Benny Thomason, or a recording of him. And my friend Rosie Newton, actually, it's kind of a hybrid of their two versions. And recently went and recorded it in Wellsboro, Pennsylvania, with my dear friend, occasional sideman, Ethan Hawkins, who is a fantastic old-time guitar player and bluegrass guitar player and singer, who has been making his home in the Boston area, but is originally from Western Virginia. And it was a really, really great recording experience. Definitely, you should check out Ethan Hawkins on all your socials and everything, like, follow, whatever, so you can get updates when that comes out. It was like a killer band, really fun time hanging out with those guys, and just a lot of fun making the recording. The next one was called I Wonder Where's My Brother Gone by Annie Grace Horn Dodson, who was a wonderful singer recorded by Alan Lomax. I sadly don't know that much about her life, but I love her work. And I sort of fused that tune with my weird calico rendition of John Riley the Shepherd from Adam Hurt. For any Adam Hurt fans out there. Let's see here. I wrote the name of the song down, but it's not helping the melody come into my head right now. See, if this was a live show, I would ask the audience how the song went, and someone in the audience would know it, because the folk world is too small. Dear and gone, dear and gone, all the friends I had, dear and gone, gone to the boneyard, Gone to the boneyard, gone to the boneyard, dear and gone. Gone forever, gone forever, gone forever, oh my Lord. Down to the boneyard, down to the boneyard, down to the boneyard, oh my Lord. My poor mother, my poor mother, my poor mother, oh my Lord. Gone to the boneyard, gone to the boneyard, gone to the boneyard, oh my Lord. Never turn back, never turn back, never turn back, oh my Lord. Gone to the boneyard, gone to the boneyard, gone to the boneyard, oh my Lord. Little Vera Hall and Doc Reed for you. Before we close it out with some more Manco Sneed. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I would deeply appreciate it if you went to the link at the bottom of your screen, elderly.com/Jake, and sent me a tip. It is hard to be a musician during the pandemic, and it's not going to get easier for quite some time. So any bit of support you can offer is greatly appreciated. If you're enjoying my music, feel free to go onto the digital platform of your choice and check out Spider Tales. It is a thing I'm very proud to have made, as you saw in the interview. And I'm sad that I can't be out there bringing it to you in person, but the internet can be the next best thing, and I still get paid unless you're streaming it. Buy it. Well, this is Manco Sneed's Old Timey Gray Eagle. Thank you so much to Elderly. Thank you so much to AJ and to Lillian. I love everyone who works at this store and order all of my things from you, and it is super fun to get to work with you in all these other ways. I wish that I could come visit you in Lansing. Thank you.
All right, Jake, thank you so much. On behalf of everybody in the audience and Elderly Instruments, I want to thank you for sharing.
Well, I don't know if that's me or you, but I'm glad we got to the end.
Okay, are we back? I think we're back. All right. I just
Yeah.
want to thank you for sharing your music with us this hour. And I want to thank everybody in the audience for tuning in and heading over to elderly.com/Jake and giving you a tip. I want to echo what you said. It is really hard to be a musician during this time. And so this is what you're doing to make your money. So everybody in the audience, I suggest a $10 donation and check out Jake's website and his new album, Spider Tales. And
Thank you.
Jake, thank you. All right, bye.